For the latest top tips, reviews and advice, please subscribe below.
Hello and welcome to Attwoolls Outdoors with me, Mike. Today I'm going to give you guys a bit of a review video on a product from Isabella. So with me here today I've got the Isabella Winter Awning. So the winter has basically been in kind of Isabella's collection for a number of years now, and it's basically designed, as the name kind of almost suggests, it's designed for more winter use, and everything about it in a way it's been designed and manufactured is to that effect. So what we've got really is kind of a more of a shallower awning as such. It's about 180 deep by about 220 wide. So it's definitely a small porch, something that you wouldn't necessarily put up all year round just because of the fabric itself it uses is PVC. The reason this is quite important is, to be fair, is that PVC is brilliant for kind of keeping necessarily the weather out, but it's not breathable. So it's great in kind of extreme conditions, and you don't find you get so much moisture through it at all, which is great, like I say, when you want to make sure the heat stays in. But on a warm day in the UK, let alone anywhere else, it'll be an absolute like an oven inside of there, just because there's not really much breathability. You're relying on merely a couple of vents on the top to allow that airflow in. So it's something you would definitely go in the colder months, but as soon as you change it over, then if you want something a similar size, it might be worth looking at the minor Dawn as a comparison, just because it's not too dissimilar in terms of size, but a lot more features that necessarily you would need. The PVC material comes almost in two different points here. So we've got kind of a generic kind of PVC around the sides and the front, and then the roof's got like a coated PVC again. It's in a way it's been fashioned is it will happily sort of allow snow and stuff to fall on top and actually take the weight of that. So we've got the kind of normal kind of Xinox frame, so it's a steel frame, 25 mil, so it's a good sort of diameter, but then you've also got clips as well to get the adjustments. You've got essentially almost like what's called like a shed kind of design where you go up and up to the peak, and then you've got a middle bracing bars which we'll have a look at inside. It's the only actually awning in kind of Isabella's collection where the mud skirts come out rather than in, and that's really designed so when snow comes down or rain or whatever it is, it comes out, down and flushes off the awning rather than go back underneath. There are some unique features in here that you don't necessarily see in kind of Isabella's collection. The ability of kind of adjusting elasticated points. So we know what their normal elastic points are normally lot, but you've got a separate part here which you can kind of tension and get a bit more through. That's because often when you got snow or everything around it, the ground level might be different, so you need a different amount of tension depending on what's going on at that moment in time. We've got a solid front, which obviously is, as you see, big sort of PVC window, and that blank panel can't be removed as you see it, as we see there. We've got a mesh at the top here as well, so that's your only sort of ventilation in and out of it. So again, it's all about keeping warmth in rather than that. So I mean, that's for airflow. Like I said, that's the only thing we've really got. If you want to, you can sort of roll that down, zip that up nice and neatly, or alternatively kind of roll it back. And then there's also a little kind of popper there which you can kind of retain it or fold it like we have so. Doors off either side of the awning, and in the door itself we've got kind of the iconic kind of Isabella window, portal if you will, and then you've got two zip pullers on here so you can go down or up either way. Oversized spiral chain zips as well, so again it's really nice and industrial, and when we're kind of running on the sides, that spiral chain means it's a lot smoother, and also the zip itself's been sort of counter-teethed, so it means that they make a note of kind of how many teeth are in the actual zip itself. It means for longevity purposes, if there's any issues, they know how it should be, and if there's any problems further down the line, it's all very kind of monitored and managed, and that's almost a testimony to kind of the quality we do see with Isabella. Isabella on a whole, I think it's all made kind of in Europe, which is a bit of a novelty these days. It means they can monitor from production, because it's all Isabella made, from the factory through to transport, through to obviously on the shelf in the shops, even to kind of the after sales and the repair service is all done in-house. So they keep a very close tab on what's going on, and their pride is their quality, and that's something you do sort of see in the actual awnings as we go forward. Once you kind of have an Isabella, you don't often stray away, to be honest. You do pay for what you get. The frame itself is very simplistic to put up. It is basically quite a small awning, simple in design, but effective in what it's to achieve, and basically what it's set out for the weather conditions. You know, whether it be snowing, you can quite happily, you know, sort of see fit as you go. You've got curtains in the front section as well, and they've got the typical kind of Isabella kind of runners, so you can kind of get the coverage as you want to. The curtains itself can be turned inside out, just due to the kind of way the clip system works. So it means you can have the pattern facing out or facing in, depends on what you want to achieve. Also, things to mention are the retaining clip for the curtains. It's all like a press stud as well. In fact, let's pick the camera up and have a bit of a look inside. It's easier to see by do than talk about it the whole time. So we see that kind of porthole straight through there, and again you've got that secondary zip puller and then a little clasp located there. Like I say, it is a small compact size, but you kind of get the idea. You've got the centralised ridge pole there to take the additional weight, and its frame is kind of very strong and structured. All of the joints as well is obviously all button clips, so it's very solid in that sense. You can buy some additional lighting, and the clasps are easily adjustable as we can get there, so we can get that looking absolute solid. Forget about the snow. The back section, we've got these sort of bars essentially, so it actually ties really smartly to the actual material, so the framework is very entwined with the actual point itself. So it means you can get a really nice strong fix. There's a foam pad located at the back here to try and push against the van, and that the whole back pole is fixed to points that's nice and easy. That will kind of just revert back into it as such. All the points, you've got reinforced points located on the sleeves, so there's a separate point located there, and that's basically to make sure that you don't get any kind of rubbing with the actual awning rail itself. And that's not only on the sides, but it's also on the front, so you've got that located there as well. Again, it's just something they do to make sure it lasts as long as, you know, Isabella kind of expect it to. As we kind of come outside of it, you can see there's a small little wing at the top there, really just to kind of keep it smartly in the track. But overall, it's quite a small, compact awning. You've got the Typhoon points at the front here, so you can actually give a bit more stability by putting some guide points included with that to give it, as we see. But you can see it's very finished and cut well. We've got sort of like a snowy kind of condition to kind of give you a bit more of an idea, and of course a reindeer as well to implement the snow-esque, but something a bit more unique. It's not something that's to be for everyone. You know, I definitely think if you're kind of looking for something that's going to be kind of longer lasting, certainly more seasonal use than winter season use, I probably should say, then I think, yeah, it's a really good option. Definitely if you're looking more at Scandinavia, that sort of stuff, or sort of Scotland, or, you know, you could use it a bit further south for sure. Certainly if you want something that, let's say, is about warmth, that's where obviously it's in a kind of a league of its own, just with that kind of PVC material. But for more question queries, you always check the link below this video, where it takes you through the individual features, pack weights, pack sizes, of course the price, and other videos got related to the winter. But by all means, let us know if you have any more questions or queries. So that's our little video review on the Isabella Winter Air Awning.